Every individual is free as long as he does not overstep his freedom, as long as he does not harm the society. Because in Islam, the larger welfare of the society takes precedence over the individual freedom. Working and labor, working and labor as well as the benefit in business are both important principles of the Sharia, but the former takes precedence over the latter. And if you are doing business or whatever it is, a big loss cannot be inflicted to relieve a small loss. Neither can a big profit be sacrificed for a small profit. So in short, Islam believes in individual freedom within the context of the social welfare. There are several evils of the interest-based economy. The reason why Quran has prohibited it. For example, if a person takes loan from the bank and say the cost price of a particular article is 100 rupees, he wants 10 rupees profit on that article. So selling price will include the 100 rupees cost price, the 10 rupees profit, as well as the interest is paying. Say it is rupees 10. So the selling price will be 120 rupees. The selling price will go up because of interest. If the selling price goes up, but natural, the demand comes down. When the demand comes down, the supply goes down. When supply goes down, but natural, the production comes down. When the production comes down, there is retrenchment and there is labor problem. There's problem of employment. There are a lot of social injustice. For example, if a person takes loan from the bank, irrespective whether he makes a profit or goes in loss, he has to pay that fixed amount of interest in the time stipulated. Even if some calamity befalls his family, like floods, earthquake, etc., still the person who has taken loan has to pay that amount along with interest. There is no social, there is social injustice. Irrespective whether the businessman goes in loss or profit, he has to pay that amount. There is no social consideration also. For example, if two businessmen, they come to ask for a loan from a bank, from the modern bank. One businessman wants to open an alcohol factory and the other businessman wants to start a school. But natural, the person starting an alcohol factory will have better returns, and the loan given to him will be more secured, and he will give a higher rate of interest as compared to the other businessman who wants to start a school or an hospital. There is no social consideration. The modern bank is only interested in getting bigger returns. It's not bothered whether you open an alcohol factory or a gambling den or a school or a hospital. That's the reason that if you analyze in the 80s, most of the modern banks, they financed gambling dens. That's the reason you will find that hundreds and thousands of gambling dens had been opened in the 80s throughout the world. All the banks financed gambling dens. So theoretically, the modern banker will tell you that even we have social consideration, and for name's sake, he may give a loan to a few social projects. But majority of his loans, if you analyze, are not based on social consideration. It's based on better interest. According to the modern banking, it encourages a person to store money. It encourages a person to keep the money idle. That you keep so much money in the bank and you get a fixed return of 10% or 12% every year. It encourages a person to store money. And lastly, the power is concentrated in the hands of few people. That is the bankers. That's the reason that a small percentage of people, that is a small community, that is the Jews, which are controlling the major modern banks of the world. Today they are controlling the full world. The power today is mainly in the hands of the Jews, because though they are negligible in percentage, they are controlling most of the modern banks. So because of the modern banking system, power is concentrated in the hands of few individuals. Same way, there are several benefits of the Islamic banking. Firstly, no interest is involved. It's based on profit and loss. So if a person wants to sell his good, it will only have the cost price and the profit. Instead of 120 rupees, his selling price will be 110 rupees. If the selling price comes down, the demand increases. If the demand increases, but natural supply increases. Supply increases, the production increases. And but natural, there is more labor for the people. And it encourages the people to work and to strive. It encourages a people to earn the living. It has social justice. That if a businessman takes a loan, if he goes in loss, the loss is shared by the bank. If he goes in profit, the profit is shared by the bank. And if he takes a loan, and if certain calamity befalls him, but natural, the Islamic bank gives him more time to repay, not like the modern bank. The more later you pay, you have to pay a bigger penalty. In the Islamic bank, they give more time. And many a time, if they find the situation very bad, they also let go of that loan. There is social consideration. You cannot give loan to any businessman who is doing any activity against the Islamic Sharia, any activity which is causing harm to the society. For example, if a businessman wants to open an alcohol factory, and if he approaches an Islamic bank, irrespective, even if the businessman says, I will give you 100% of my profit, still the Islamic bank will not give a single pie loan to that businessman, because he wants to start a project which is harmful to the society, which is against the Sharia. So in Islamic banking, there is social consideration. And they encourages more. The Islamic bank, they encourage more of the projects which are beneficial to the society. For example, building of schools, building of hospitals, building of nurseries, etc. In short, the Islamic bank encourages the society to improve. In Islamic bank, you aren't encouraged to keep your money idle. You're encouraged to invest your money